Yeah.
The funniest one was some guy. I don't know if he set up a bind or something, but every single time he killed someone, the enemy team, he just typed into alt chat meow. So he's meowing at the entire team every time he killed them.
That's so weird. Just like that. Episode
Hello,
5.
everybody.
After
Hello.
some technical difficulties, but we're here.
Welcome to BuffCast number 5. I'm General Dumplin, or Leonardo.
I'm Carson.
And I'm Rob, Ushocks, whatever you find on there. And just a little side note for today, we're on like a 5-minute delay. We just got some issues going on with Twitch, but we'll work through it. Let's slow it down. I'm on like technical fixing mode. Anyways, let's jump right into
we'll
it.
fix things out.
Yeah, what do we want to jump on? Valorant first, I guess, right?
Yeah, it seems like to be the most popular topic of any conversation, so might as well continue with it.
Yeah, any gaming podcast could not avoid Valorant. What do we got at the top? I guess this week the big thing going on is these 24-hour streams, and they're obviously not stopping. I guess
Twitch did respond, so there's something about that.
Oh, true.
Well, it was just Twitch support, to be fair. It was just like, we'll look into this and know what that means.
Gotcha.
But it does seem to be a bit of a problem because it's kind of messing with like the algorithm, I guess, that the Valorant setup.
Yeah, I mean, you have people like, it's weird
Anomaly.
actually. Yeah, you have Anomaly, who's like the forefront of that. Like he's the leader, Anomaly, and he's a pretty big CS:GO content creator. Controversy associated with it, but like he's at least known in that community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's kind of like forwarding the charge on this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
His growth this month has just been absurd. Like he's gained, I think, over 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's a very gray area thing, I'd say.
Well, I mean, it's kind of immoral, but at this point, like, you really can't hate the player. You have to hate the game because there really was no system set up for different. Really, like in the eyes of the drops, is it a VOD? Is it not?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's two sides to that. One is like Twitch has a rerun feature, so I guess they're abusing Twitch by not using the rerun feature. At the same time, if it was TOS, these wouldn't be happening. And then the other side of things is drops are enabled for everybody now. So I don't know. Like what? Just click on any stream. Why do you need to? Unless people just want to know, like, okay, if I open up this stream on my laptop, it's never gonna go offline. But I don't know. I can't imagine.
It's a bit interesting. I mean, it's not like the streamers are like, not playing the game for that long. You got like Summit, who's been streaming Valorant for like the past 3 weeks almost. So it's more of like, it's just like a moral thing. It's just you could be on one side or the other.
Yeah,
I can understand Twitch's side, but I can also understand Anomaly's side. But there are some other things with Anomaly that we won't get into.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, he said it's
definitely at the forefront about complaining about all these.
Yeah, Summit. I think he's in. I don't know. He's in that position. People call him the grandfather of Twitch or something like that. And I think he tries to be influential in the same way that I think Ninja still influences Epic's decisions with Fortnite. Maybe a little bit. I think a lot of people pay attention to Summit in terms of whatever he's playing.
That's true. The next part about Valorant, though, that's a bit of a slight controversy, is the skin prices for items.
That's a weird one.
This can go a variety of ways. I mean, personally, I don't think it's that particularly that bad. I mean, just because the skins are very high priced, and they're like, there's a lot. They give you a lot, but they're nice skins, and they give you that was it 20%? 20% back when the game comes out. So you're getting that money, that that $60 plus some back to you. And if you're like, hey, maybe I don't want skins, or maybe I do want skins, you can do what you want. I don't know. I personally don't find it as that big of a deal, since it is optional and they don't have any gameplay affecting.
Yeah, of course, it's just factors. A cosmetic thing. I think, I don't know, it's just one of those things where, like, no matter how much you try to avoid it, it's inevitable. Like, somehow you end up with skins or something. Like, even if, I don't know, I at least don't have the personal strength to just be like, no, I'm not buying cosmetics in this game. But, I mean, and I don't know how League does it. I know League's cosmetics are usually pretty significant, right? Like, for,
It's
I don't know.
basically the same as Valorant's,
Price-wise? Yeah.
I think well, I think it's more the model. There are skins. If you want them, you pay for them. If you don't want them, you don't.
Exactly.
Because
But I think
I know
sometimes
that's
they're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. I know it's worked for Riot in the past with, like, yeah, you're paying a bunch for the skin, but you get the skin and you don't have to jump through hoops to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not paying hundreds of dollars, but you don't have to jump through hoops. I just know it's worked for them with getting people to buy the skins and to keep buying the skins.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't just like, oh, let's just make 5 skins and charge people $60 for like a collection of 6. They had some sort of reason and thought to it.
Yeah, I think it's just the inconsistency that's angering people, because you have, so one of the packs was called like the Lux Collection, and it's usually like four weapons every time, and the Lux Collection was actually pretty nice, and it had like 3 levels to it. You could level them up, and that was
The Lux Collection is beautiful.
so that was 4,375 Valorant points last time it was in the shop, is what I'm seeing. And now so that's the one with the 3 stages. And now the Prism pack, which is I think again in for this entire week, is 6,375 points, as opposed to that 4,375.
I think it includes one more gun, I'm pretty sure, than the Lux.
Yeah, it might include one more gun, but it's doesn't have the levels. It's just a minimalistic, like I don't know, like a anodized metal like appearance or anything. It's just a reskin. Like, it's not new shapes. With the Lux pack, you got like a different shaped knife. But anyways,
yeah, they gave like a different aesthetic to the guns itself. And it has the knife is completely different too. Like, they went for like a switchblade kind of knife, but whereas the Prism is just the main basic knife, but with different colors.
Yeah. And then I guess the other thing is, like, with it being that 6,375, so for $50, you're getting 5,350 Valorant points, or whatever they're called, VP. So you need to spend more. You need to spend like $70 to get the like $63 pack. Like, you can't buy the 50. You have to buy 50 plus 20. So it just doesn't work out. And Riot responded, and they said, like, this is like for people that want like a more minimalistic weapon. They want to be part of, like, they want to own a cosmetic, but they want something minimalistic. This is not marketed towards our entire audience. It's only marketed towards a select amount of people. And in the future, we're going to release things that's more affordable and more widely accepted, which I think that's just so weird sounding to me.
Yeah, it's just what they're gonna say, Like, there's actually another one coming out soon. I saw the leak on Twitter, and I don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but it's like I
think
like a gold, black and white
pack
thing
is what it's been rumored as, and it has that one.
It has like all these.
Yeah,
cool,
and that one,
like, the knife is actually not even a knife; it's a tomahawk.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes, and we'll see. I don't know, like, I again don't play League that much, but people are telling me like cosmetics are like 1 or 2 new ones a week, or a month rather. Like, so it's not that many, and that seems to be true with Valorant too, because you have the main one in there for the full week. But yeah, again, they have time to fix these things. Obviously, they're fixing things every day. I think they even just changed the UI for the update that came out today, and Ranked should be following that as soon as they confirm this update is stable.
Yeah, Ranked is coming very soon.
So Ranked, yeah, that's I can't wait for that on Twitter. Just everyone flexing their ranks or whatever. Yeah, and I think that ties into the toxicity that's coming out of this game too. You guys kind of like experienced any of that?
A little bit. Like, it started out fine, and then there was like some guy who was bottom fragging, and he kept complaining over text. He's still bottom fragging. Then 2 Australians got into a fight. I don't even know how they were on the North American server. Yeah, the funniest one was some guy, I don't know if he set up a bind or something, but every single time he killed someone in the enemy team, he just typed into alt chat meow. So he's meowing at the entire team every time he killed them.
That's so weird.
That's more like funny toxicity than mean toxicity. It's I don't know. I don't know. I've been playing more often, still not getting better-ish, but I feel like you got 1 or 2 people that are competent per team, and then the rest is just might as well be bots at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I get it's a new game and stuff, but there's a point where, I don't know, there's just a lot of... It's a new game and people are trying to learn.
They need rank to come out.
They do.
Yeah.
They need rank to come out, because
or like a casual.
right now...
I think because right now there's no training wheels. Like, if you hop into CS:GO competitive, you're gonna probably get put like first time, like you'll have to go through your elo, like your ranking, but eventually you'll get put somewhere where you fit, and not somewhere right now where you're like placed.
You can be anywhere.
Who knows? I mean,
there is the whole hidden MMR system that they have, but
Mhm.
that's still not
it's
enough
still like,
because
I guess it's still relative or whatever.
yeah,
I thought the hidden. I
it's
thought the
probably
hidden
not that
MMR was.
like. What were you saying, Carson?
I think right now, before again these ranks come out, while it's still in beta, that everyone has a hidden MMR, and the way they get the teams is that it's like an average MMR for the whole team. So again, you're gonna have people that are skewing it at the top, like the top one or two
someone that's
players.
like fantastic, and then someone who's just garbage.
I think that's true.
It's
yeah.
I mean, also with the toxicity portion of the thing, it's like one, you're taking in a crowd from Riot Games. Now, I'm not saying Riot has a toxic fan base, but League usually tends to be pretty toxic. I mean, my personal experience when I played League, I told the people, I'm like, yeah, I'm a bit of a beginner, and they like told me to, F off and uninstall the game, which is, it was funny. I didn't
expect it,
but you had people from that genre coming to Valorant, and then you also have people from like CS:GO, Overwatch, which not as toxic, but you're definitely going to get some of the toxic players, and it's just going to pool together into one like crock pot of toxicity. And that's also just the way the games are nowadays.
Yeah,
it's just people are toxic.
I'm usually like with a
is.
full queue or something for the most part, but I definitely feel that like the CS:GO players have this like alpha, like, this is our game, we know aim games, you Overwatch players don't know what you're doing, but it's like
exactly.
Yeah,
and they prove it, obviously, but games are just going to be toxic. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to stop it, honestly. Like Siege, for example, the way they try to stop it is like they try to like censor certain words, but that doesn't stop anything.
Yeah. Throwback to the one time I played R6 after like a 6-month break, and somebody told me to spell dabbing backwards, and I ended up with like a 30-minute ban, but that's a TOS subject for another time. Anyways, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I think ranked is going to solve a lot of that issues.
I definitely think so too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that's enough Valorant for this week's podcast. I mean, I'm sure we won't be able to get enough of it as the weeks goes on. But
totally not. Actually, there's one thing I do want to mention before. I saw like it was like an image of like all the ranked, like all what the medals look like for each rank in the game. Not gonna lie, kind of lame. My personal opinion, they don't look that cool. They kind of just look very
they're not that diverse
plain.
Or like
I mean like
meh.
Yeah, exactly, meh. Like the league, the stuff in League is pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, we'll definitely have a lot to talk about Valorant. I mean, just now it's just there's not enough really to say about it because all we have is like an icon and one data mined file, but there's a new agent and voice lines in the files that people are finding. But yeah, we'll talk about ranked and all that and coming up as we get more information. But yeah. What else we got from this week?
We got the RTX voice. I don't know. You seem really excited about that one, Robert.
I mean, it's so cool. You wanna explain that one? Either of you? Or?
I mean, I saw a tweet that some guy had RTX voice and he was banging a hammer around.
Oh, I love that video.
And a fan, and apparently if you have a RTX card, it helps with noise suppression.
So it's, from what I understand, it's essentially just like there's another software, or not software, I don't know the right terminology for it in that sense, but I guess in the same way that maybe RTX ray tracing works, like it's AI/machine learning, I believe RTX voice is, and it's just digital software that runs through your graphics card, I guess, and it can just eliminate background noise. So we saw that extreme example. I could play the clip if we wanted. I just didn't have it set up on here. It's a little tricky to get running if you don't have an RTX card. There is workarounds, but and it's definitely not fixed. Yeah, you can do it without an RTX card. It's kind of sketchy. You like go into one of the config files and like delete a line that says like restriction, like close block restriction. Anyways, I messed around with it for about a half an hour, and like I held my fan that I usually have on my desk like right here to my mic, and was like talking. I was like, "Hey guys, can you tell like a difference?" And they're like, "You sound a little robotic, but like I don't know what you're doing." And then I started like just hitting my desk. I'm like, "How about now?" And they're like,
"That's so
Did you
cool.
change anything?" And it's still definitely not perfect because I tried to crank it even further, and then I brought a vacuum in, and then I sound like a full-on robot. But like some people were saying,
well, it's a first step though.
It's something that
vacuum's a little bit extreme, but I feel like with like keyboard clicking or a fan in the background, that's perfect. Because I saw the video.
I can't wait for the keyboard clicking.
Yeah, that's a good one. God, I like.
All my buddies.
I don't know. Do we all have that one friend that has like Cherry MX Browns or something?
That's what I was. I was about to say. My one of my buddies, I love him, but he's just like every time I hear every single click. And I'm just like, dude, can you like lower your mic sensitivity? He's like, I could, but you won't hear me. I'm like,
I mean, push to talk exists.
Yeah,
that
honestly.
too.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll play the clip on the podcast, but if you guys are more curious about RTX voice, definitely go look at it's at the Gun Run on Twitter, and it's a clip of how do you say it? Barnacles?
Yeah.
Barnacles.
Those barnacles.
Barnacles. Anyway, so at the Gun Run on Twitter, and it's a clip of him doing it, and he has like a rubber mallet and like a relatively industrial looking fan going right next to his like literally 6 inches
like
to a foot away, and he's banging like Leo is there, and he's got the fan running full time, and it's just nothing. It's like it doesn't sound distorted because he messed with it more, and like he was saying, it's like on a TV show or a production, like you would have like sound engineers like probably handling that stuff just like to account for the room noise or the feedback, anything,
and stuff like that,
a refrigerator running. But a Twitch streamer in his bedroom, like he doesn't have that capabilities. He doesn't always have the mixer right there, and so that worked really well.
But it's really, honestly, I'm just excited because it just means new openings for new things that are just going to come out. And it's a start, It's just so damn cool, honestly.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that's not the most usable application, but I don't doubt that like stuff like this will stem creativity of like maybe like RTX just accelerating VR performance or like hand tracking. Like I mean, I feel like eventually for VR, I feel like a next step that's probably not that far away is just eliminating controllers and just having really good hand tracking.
And just get like some like panels in your corners of your room that can just track anything that's not track all human activity and just exclude anything that's not.
Yeah, that's why I'm reserving certain titles like the Half-Life Alyx. Like I'm waiting. Like right now, I'm back home all of a sudden in my bedroom, and I guess I have space for VR, but not like the full thing. So I'm just waiting to have a whole room. I think I'm gonna try and stream Half-Life Alyx eventually and just play through it because I've heard nothing but good stuff. But I don't want to scuff my experience.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it with a bad room or stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I feel like we knocked Carson to the sidelines because he wasn't really sure about RTX voice here. But why don't you bring us into our next topic then?
Let's see. We've got
please.
So apparently Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2 are receiving their final update soon. Of course this sucks because I feel like DICE working on 2 games, both under EA. That's a lose-lose regardless of how you look at it. And then
it's a bit odd.
Yeah, it is
2 games getting affected. They were supposed to be like live services, constant free updates, all that other stuff. Well, I guess it's not profitable or in EA's best interest to continue, so they have stopped with that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to take away from it. You can go ahead before I expand on that.
I was just gonna say that they're still doing certain like live updates for Battlefront. I know that they're still doing. They're still gonna have like the double XP days. They're still gonna have like the night ops. They're gonna have the Ewok stuff.
I guess it's more so like content updates, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it's like the massive updates that they're gonna stop. So like they're not gonna be adding like new characters. A lot of people are disappointed because they wanted Battlefront to have Ahsoka. They wanted Ventress, people like that from like the Clone Wars series that's going on right now, which is about to end. There's just stuff like that people are just disappointed about. But it's what can you do? It's just EA's decision.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like for Battlefront 2 at least, I don't know for Battlefield, but Battlefront 2 apparently got 25 free content updates. So if you stretch that out over the 2 years, like that's pretty significant. That's a decent amount.
I never played. I played the beta for Battlefront 2 when it first came out. It looked cool. I don't know. Then there was that whole debacle on Reddit about is it like progression, their whole progression system, and that was a.
Didn't you need to spend like money on the currency to actually make significant progress or something like that?
That used to be the case. I have it on my PS4, so I was playing it a lot because it was on sale for like $12 one day.
Yeah, I think I have it in a drawer as well, somewhere.
It was like that. They've improved a lot of things. They stopped the whole like gambling system because that was terrible. But now it's a lot easier to progress through the game, and it's a lot easier to just. It's a lot more enjoyable, basically. They made it a lot better. So I'm
yeah.
It did have a rough release, but I'm glad to see it doing better.
Yeah, and I think there's pros and cons to this story. I think like, con is like, again, they were both pitched like as you guys are saying, just it's gonna be one long running title with a lot of free content updates, like no paid DLC. Like it's gonna be a long running title, just that will evolve over time. So it feels sudden and like unexpected for them to just say we're stopping production. But then I guess the flip side of that is, I mean, these dev teams have to be huge, right? I would imagine these dev teams have to be huge. I would imagine for both games.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
So you probably just freed up like hundreds of devs over both games, and you also are pulling people off of both current titles like that are running. It's Frostbite usually is the engine, right? So whatever version of Frostbite on. So they're essentially, I guess you could say, retiring or like stopping like current Frostbite releases, and they might like maybe like a new game will come out on the next version of Frostbite or something.
They're probably working on something.
Yeah,
at least
they've got to be.
I mean, once you have the game out, of course it takes money and manpower, but it can't be that hard to have updates here or there.
Yeah.
So I think they might just have something new in the works. I don't know.
I feel like they might overrun that. Yeah. Like I can see like if a game doesn't come out this fall, which I honestly don't think it's not looking like it's going to be, because I mean we have no physical events left to announce, and people started to really just announce things during like E3 timeframe. But I don't think something will be out this fall, but I could see like one last like holiday update or something like hey, sorry guys, like we'll give you Battlefield whatever next week or next year.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be. They've got to be working on something. It's Battlefield. It's Battlefield. That's a huge title, right? They got to compete with Modern Warfare, so they're definitely working on something big and massive in order to compete. And then also Battlefront is a pretty somewhat successful title, so I definitely see them, working on like Battlefront 3 or something like that, in the future. They're going to keep making the games, obviously, because it made them money, but it's just, it's nice to see that they're not doing yearly releases, in my opinion. I'm definitely for the, release the game, keep working on it for a couple of years, and then, and end that and do the next game, instead of like the COD cycle, which is just, here's COD.
COD in the summer is like already dying, and it's like COD, like it might go on sale now for like $40-$30, but it's like, do I buy that or do I wait like 3 more months till September or whatever, and like
and wait for the teaser.
Yeah, I guess that's a question for you guys. How do you feel about like Battlefield? To me, when those games come out, it's like they're like art pieces. Like those are out for a couple of years. They're cutting edge on Frostbite. There's an in-depth story with them. Like the DLC or updates are significant, and then you have COD, who at this point has been around for so long that they release a game in the fall. They just released Modern Warfare 2, the remaster campaign.
Yeah, it was just a campaign, yeah.
Just the campaign, which is, thank God, because if they release remastered with multiplayer and just split the player base, that's just, oh my God, it's already kind of hard to find a lobby. But I wonder, how do you guys feel on like the artistic approach of DICE versus like Call of Duty? It's just like they're just shipping titles, and then they just like, oh, that's been out for 5 years, let's remaster it, like just throw them more games. Like I don't even know. I feel like Call of Duty just wants money in every way possible. Call of Duty Mobile is like a great example of that.
Carson, would you like to start with this?
That was kind of a loaded question, but essentially just boiling down to, do you like the like artistic, slower releases, or just like if it comes out you'll play it?
I don't know. I don't. Like they must be doing this because it makes them money. Like it must, of course, you're probably going to burn out a bunch of developers having to churn out a game. Well, Call of Duty is different because you got a different team.
You have a different publisher, or same publisher, different developers.
Yeah, you got like the what was it? Is it Sledgehammer, Treyarch,
And Activision.
Activision was like the main one.
Yeah. Activision is like the parent, and then it's
Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Infinity Ward. So they have, 2-ish years to make another game, but that's just a constant. I feel like it would make more sense. It'd probably be cheaper and easier just to create one game and then, update it for at least 2 years or so and then come out with another one.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make sense for the consumer because you have to buy a whole new game, whole other progression, go through everything again, which can be fun to some people, but seems like a waste, $60 every single year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I've never really understood the whole yearly release thing. My dad's been buying Call of Duty every single year, excluding Infinite Warfare. He's bought every single Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4.
Wow.
Basically at
impressive.
launch. So
it's one of those things. It's like every year, like when I had a console, every year you pick up Madden, COD, Battlefield if it was coming out that year, and then I don't know, whatever other special titles.
Yeah, like personally, I love the whole like artistic, like waiting for a game to come out and then like getting it hyped up and then playing it and like then playing it for a long time. I'm more of a big fan of that. I would love to see COD do that. Honestly, that would be like like historical or something like that. That COD doesn't do a yearly release and waits a little bit and then releases this massive title with like tons of developers backing it just to see I just want to see what would happen because that'd be like a Battlefield style game but Call of Duty. I mean, I used to be a huge fan of Call of Duty in the past. Like I remember when I was playing on my 360, I'd always get the yearly Call of Duty because my friends did. And then now I'm just like, I don't really need it, so why should I get it? It's not much changing. I only got Modern Warfare because my roommate was like, get it. I'm like, all right, whatever, sure.
It definitely serves as more of a social game a lot of the times, more than you're actually playing a competitive shooter. Because I feel like when I'm playing Valorant, the brain is on, and when I'm playing COD, the brain is off sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like you said, it definitely would be interesting to see them do that 2-year model, but unfortunately, I think it's already rumored / leaked that in the fall, a Black Ops game is coming out running on the current Modern Warfare engine. So they're relentless. I mean, I love a Black Ops game. That campaign's gonna bang, no doubt. But
Black Ops is the best.
Yeah,
it is. But it's also like from like an esports standpoint, it's like really hard to get used to it. Like each game has different, almost like not mechanics, but they have different weapons most of the time.
Right.
Because COD likes to go through like the different time periods all the time. They like to go back and then they go forward, then they go future, and then they're like switching constantly. So those esport players that are like playing, going from like Modern Warfare, right? And then like let's say COD releases like another World War II game. That's a completely different style.
I mean, take anybody that's been in there for a while, like just off the top of my head, like Scump. He's on Chicago Huntsman right now. He's been from Optic to Chicago Huntsman. I mean, kind of the same thing, but he's been going for a while. And back even when Nate Shot played at MLG back in, oh god, that was a while ago. But anyways, they've been
Black Ops 2. Did he play earlier than Black Ops 2?
I don't know.
Black Ops 2, you're right. I feel like he had to play Black Ops, I feel like.
That means he's been through Ghost, he's been through Infinity War, Advanced War,
World War
II. So, like, for his point of view, and for people like Courage or like Maven, like casters of COD League, think about your technical skill and like range that you would have to know, like casting simple Black Ops 2, and then they're like, okay, now you got to learn the terminology for the jump packs and the grappling and like just go wall running, all this stuff,
weird special abilities.
And then this year it's like, okay, back to just Modern Warfare, and you're like, basics, easy year. Yeah, it's strange.
I'm personally not the biggest fan of the Call of Duties with all the like special abilities and such, because it doesn't feel like I'm playing COD at that point. I feel like I'm playing like Overwatch.
Yeah, or Titanfall.
Or something. Yeah, it just gets too complicated. Call of Duty, their best thing is their core game mechanics of just simple gunplay. It works. It can be intense, it's just like all these other things just interferes with that core gameplay, I feel like.
Yeah. God, speaking of Titanfall, where is Titanfall right now? We're on Titanfall 2, and that's a game that just exists. Do people play that?
I mean, I think they made it. I mean, I won a PlayStation 4, which I never used. So, and I think on PS Plus, like, Titanfall 2 was free for a lot of people. I played.
Yeah, that's how I got it.
Titanfall. You said PlayStation?
Really? It was free on the PlayStation Store.
I don't know why. I thought that was an Xbox exclusive.
No, it's Xbox, PlayStation 4.
Gotcha. Was the first one exclusive, or am I just entirely
The first
making
one
stuff?
was exclusive. It was on Xbox One and 360.
Gotcha.
It was like that. It was at that weird time, like right when the new generation came out.
It was in the transition phase.
Yeah. What did PlayStation get for PS4? I don't even remember. Probably like
Killzone.
Killzone and
Killzone's kind of dead.
Is that the one with like Is that the one with like Nazi robots, or that's like Wolfenstein? But like isn't Killzone like similar though? It's like has German looking soldiers? No, maybe.
I think it's about something about like separatists.
Killzone Shadowfall, right?
I don't know. Killzone isn't really like in the conscious of people like this decade. It seems. I feel like it was bigger PS3 era.
That was 2013, yeah.
Yeah. All this talk of different platforms has got me thinking. This maybe isn't that significant of a topic, but I post about it as something we talk about. Is that was it the website Good Old Gamers, GOG? Like it's usually just the DRM free like website. And they came out with that launcher GOG Galaxy 2.0 or something, and I downloaded it just for fun last night. It actually is so nice. You can connect every single platform to it, like pretty much besides Riot. So I put my Origin library in there, Uplay, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Epic, just like everything, and I could see every single game I owned in one launcher. So it was pretty cool. And it actually has decent filtering issues. You could add Twitch too, so all those Prime games. Because that's like one thing I struggle with. Like Epic, like I grab all these free games and then I beat them, and there's no way to hide them, and it's always alphabetic, so it's just like these random colored tiles. But with the launcher, you can filter, you can hide a game, you can add custom tags, just like you can do with Steam. But
what was this launcher called again?
It's it's GOG Galaxy 2.0.
Huh, never heard of it.
So I don't know. It's just a neat little thing, I guess.
Isn't GOG? I know they're heavily associated with C Project Red, or no, CD Project.
Yeah, that I don't know.
GOG.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a subsidiary of CD Projekt.
Gotcha.
So that's cool. I mean, I don't have any of the Witcher games on GOG. I think I got like Shadow Warrior 2 on GOG Galaxy like a year or two ago. That was kind of fun for free. But for the most part, I've only really been using Steam, Valorant launcher, Minecraft, the Origin launcher when I want to play Apex, but I don't want to play Apex anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just using Steam and Valorant at this point, and sometimes Minecraft.
I mean, I used Epic to get the free games, so
I just like bounce around. So I don't know, like I'm gonna just start grinding some games out, whether I stream them or not, and I'm just gonna hide them in the launcher after the fact. Well, I might sorry. So the chat is like so far behind, so like they're asking questions or like answering each other from like the COD conversation right now, and then Clovis is flipping out because I switched my cam to Discord instead of OBS, and I flip it in OBS because when you add it automatically, like it's mirrored, and I hate that. Like I hate raising my right hand and it's on my left side of my head. Freaks me out. So it definitely did change. Clovis, you're not going crazy. Yeah. So sorry about the chat being 5 minutes behind again, but
it's actually 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay. So
yeah,
not that bad.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Yes.
We have some topics, but we don't have a lot of time, so we got either Assassin's Creed teaser, most impactful PC games of Q1 2020, or Sinatra retiring from Overwatch League. You guys seem to really like the Assassin's Creed topic, since that just came out before we started streaming.
Well, I can just mention that real quick. I mean, it's not that much.
Why don't you roll through it, and then we'll go through the PC games.
All right. So, as some people may not know, new Assassin's Creed has been teased. It's called Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you go look on Ubisoft's Instagram, you can see that they plan to do a full teaser tomorrow, April 30th at 8 a.m. PDT. That's Pacific Daytime. Don't know what's gonna happen with that. All they showed was a logo with a Viking that has the axe and has the whole Assassin's Creed logo on it. I'm glad that Assassin's Creed is finally not doing yearly releases, because that was kind of their downfall. So maybe let's see what this goes with. I've never seen a Viking Assassin's Creed, so I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, and we're just on a teaser at this point, so we'll leave it at
Not
that.
much.
But I'm
That's all I've
excited.
got.
This might bring me back to Assassin's Creed. I definitely would love to do that, like I did in my childhood.
Yeah,
Carson,
'cause I
bring us
forgot
into
the
our
last
next
two.
topic. We're going on this
Okay,
rapid
so
fire
the
round
esport-
robin.
Yeah, okay, so the Esports Observer just tweeted out yesterday the most impactful games of Q1 2020, and it broke it up into tiers. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, I can run through it. So we have tiers 1 through 3, and on the bottom tier, we have Overwatch, FIFA, World of Warcraft, and then was it Warcraft Reforged?
Oh, is it the card game?
No,
Oh no, that's
Warcraft
that's the
3.
remastered one.
Yeah, and then tier 2
Yeah.
being the middle tier, we have Modern Warfare, StarCraft, Hearthstone, Fortnite, PUBG, Rocket League, Magic the Gathering, and then our top tier, tier
Not
1,
bad.
is League, CS, Rainbow Six, and Dota 2.
Yeah, Siege.
Now we fight about this, don't we?
Yes, let me fight.
I know some more Blizzard fans are gonna hate this. I know that Overwatch League right now is on fire, not doing very well, but I don't think it's a tier 3 esport, because like tier 3 is FIFA and Madden and Warcraft. Like when I went to DreamHack, they had Warcraft 3 Reforged and then Madden tournaments, but it was kind of sad because those were like the side tournaments of the side tournaments. Like the Warcraft 3 tournament was just 10 people sitting and folding like almost lawn chairs, just watching people play Warcraft 3. And then Madden was just, I think there were more people competing than there were actually viewing Madden. I mean, again, smaller game, not really your core.
It's not. It's a yearly release too, so it's not gonna have that many.
Yeah, and
consistent
then like
things.
FIFA, and I really thought of FIFA. That's more probably of a European thing, of FIFA being competitive.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I do agree with the tier 2 and the tier 1.
Ooh, you know what I have to bring up? I think a pretty underrated thing is Rainbow Six overtaking Fortnite. I feel like that's relatively significant. I'm super happy about it.
I'm happy about it.
But,
I'm
I
very
think
happy about that.
Yeah. That's
It's good to see. It's good to see Siege is still in the light, despite it being somewhat not like an old game, but it's
Was it
released
5
in 2015.
years?
Yeah, we're on year 5 right now. So it's nice to see that Siege is still, even if the player base isn't as high as games like CS:GO or League, it's nice to see that a consistent fan base in a tactical shooter like that can carry it to the top for esports, because it is a very intense esport to watch. I mean, I love watching whenever I can. It's just so intense.
As a side note, back to that like conversation of Battlefield and Call of Duty and their yearly releases, God, they need to start taking notes from R6. There are how many years out now, and they're like
5.
that game is
5.
Yeah, and like 5 years out, and that game's they do great. They do great. I personally think so. With the agents, the year passes, the map reworks, the new maps, like they're crushing it.
Yeah, I mean, also the other ones are obviously just going to be on there because they're like the father, the grandfather of esports. You know, League of Legends, CS:GO, Dota. They're going to be there no matter what.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no surprise there.
I mean,
Only
I don't
one
really
I'm like.
follow Dota. I think Dota's more. That's more like Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
All the
I
other
find
ones,
it
though, I
very
can
strange
understand.
that Dota and League exist,
At the same
next to each
time.
other. Like they I don't know, somehow.
I don't
I
really
think
hear much about Dota, so that's the
yeah,
interesting
I think
thing.
Dota is more. I just don't think there's enough of a difference for people. Like, I feel like Dota's a bit more complex and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a conversation to be had there too with Valorant. Like let's see how Valorant and CS:GO exist together.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll almost be like you're saying, like a League Dota thing, possibly. I mean, once that ranked mode comes out, I know this is obviously a yearly thing, but I'm curious to see where Valorant will be on the tier list. I definitely think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be tier 1. I don't know if it's gonna knock anything down, but I definitely think it's gonna be up there.
I think it's going to start tier 2 because they aren't. I think they're following the same structure that how League started out with, like of course 10ish years ago.
Yeah.
With let outside third parties kind of build up a scene, let them handle the upfront costs and the restrictions of that, and then once it's been built up enough, we get more involved. And then now they're at this franchise system with all these leagues across the world. I don't know. I don't know, that's kind of how Overwatch started. Have third parties started, but then again,
Yeah.
Overwatch don't do what Overwatch did, basically.
Don't.
So
No. Yeah, no.
I feel like it's
yeah. I
it's
think you're
gonna
absolutely
start
right there. Sorry.
start up
We
tier
keep
2.
battling for that. Go ahead.
It's not going to become. I don't like. Did the league and CS:GO and R6 and Dota become tier 1 overnight? Like it took time.
No, it definitely took
So-
time. You're right. Maybe thinking it'll be. I don't know. I just think the impact of it that it has already. I feel like that might carry over into something big.
Yeah, I would say
'Cause it
like
already has a fan base, and it's in the beta.
like I would say CS Source and just like Counter-Strike, in general, grandfathered CS:GO a spot at tier 1. And I
Right.
wonder League being a game of a different genre, will that grandfather in Valorant because you have Riot behind it? So Riot knows what they're doing. They're not hosting tournaments. They're relying on franchisees. But like this time around, they know exactly what they're doing. Like they're playing their cards exactly the way they want to. They're not like testing it out like they had to do with League. Like Valorant's going to go through exactly the kind of growth they want to.
Exactly, and honestly, it's not going to affect the league that much in terms of like they still have they still have a huge following. Like now they're doing like the whole like the music videos. Like those things are amazing. Like I watch those like whenever they come out because I love those songs are great. Like the one by KDA, that was really good, and then the one by Giants, it was also really good.
Yeah.
And that's like two different groups that they just took their characters and just put them into band, and it's like that's genius, and now it's working.
I think there's a group of people, like a legitimate, like large group of people that say Riot is a music or record company held back by a game company. Like they're truly a creative agency, and like they just happen to use games as their outlet for the music, which is not entirely true, but
Yeah,
there's something there, like because they have they just picked up Hytale, and they have like I think they have a web series coming out. They have like a
They
story
also
game
have-
coming out. Like
They also, I think they have they now have an open beta for like their card game spinoff.
Are you talking about Legends of Runeterra?
Yeah, and then they also have Teamfight Tactics. Don't know what that is, but it's still under their umbrella.
True. Yeah.
Again, like I'm very inexperienced with Riot and their properties. Like Valorant is the most I've ever been involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riot, I don't know. Like I don't know. I think I tried League once in high school and never tried it again. I mean, I've been mostly in the core of just being first-person shooters, and then Minecraft when I get bored, and then first-person shooters when I get bored of Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm not really much of a whole strategic, like a top side view. I'm more of like a third person, first person. It's got to be one or the other, in my opinion. That's just how I operate, though.
Okay, so
This has been a nice little stream. We talked about some important things that are happening in the gaming community.
well, I guess we could now get into our Esports Roundup. So we had the
Yes.
Valorant, the spring rally done by Anbox. A little bit weird because it was a single elimination, so a few of our teams made it 1 or 2 rounds in, but after that they got knocked out. So let's read Colorado Buffs versus Bucky Boys 2-0, Buff Watch, which was with a mix of Overwatch players, which is kind of cool, versus a Simi Esports 2-0. Then we also had a bunch of teams by... This was also just community members that... Well, since we don't really have a full team set up right now, anyone in the community could form a 5-man team. So we had a lot of interesting names. My Heart You Sosig versus ... Evens. They won 2-0.
Question mark.
Yes, we had Blacked in all capitals. They lost 0-2 to Da Crib University. What a shame. And then we had Cabin Fever, who lost to HU Esports 1-2. Again, some of these teams got really bad draws with actually facing club-supported and program-supported teams, but again, our Buff Watch and our Colorado Buff teams did fairly well. again, if anyone's interested, if you are a student next semester, you can sign out a tryout for them, and we'll have full, I'd say at least gold and black teams for Valorant. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with collegiate leagues, but I'm assuming there might be a collegiate league at some point, because Riot's they're very successful like collegiate leagues in North America, so I don't see how they could turn that down. And then next we have CSGO Gold, so they're continuing on in the NACCS D2 playoffs, and they won the redemption match against Florida Gulf Coast University, who beat them a week or two ago, which sent them into the losers bracket. So now, after beating FGCU, they're going to play the University, I think, of UC Santa Cruz. And regardless of what they do, they're going to be at least top 4 in this playoff, which is definitely very nice. So I know they had a really good first semester, kind of a meh regular season second semester, but they really stepped it up, especially in the losers bracket. So it's always great to see that our teams, even when they're not at school, doing really good. So
go Buffs.
Go Buffs. That's always.
Go Buffs.
Does anyone else have anything else to add, or think we're good?
I just put on the helmet because someone said SMH. Where's the helmet?
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna see the helmet 5 minutes from now, so hopefully they like that.
3 minutes. We gotta get you some more contacts so you can bring the helmet back.
I know. I can't see what you. I can't even see you guys.
That's crazy.
Well,
All right.
again, so I think that's it. Thanks again to all of our staff. Robert, as long as being a host, he does the graphics and is helping with the stream.
Robert.
Of course.
You can follow him at Robert Ushock on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, we got the tag
Ben,
right there.
With uploads on YouTube, you can follow him at Dragon Lord Leda. And then our project team includes James, Josue, and Clovis. And you can also follow Leonardo on TikTok at General Dumplin. So
General Dumplin.
yes,
And don't forget our main man over there too, Carson. I know you didn't include yourself because you're so humble, but I mean, this was your brainchild, was it not?
It's been a team effort from a lot of people, and I'm really glad we could, even with a lot of changes and a lot of stuff coming up, I'm glad we could have gotten this going fairly well, and it's been fairly successful, especially on Twitch. I mean, we're like 15-ish viewers right now.
I know, it's gnarly.
Yeah, so thanks
good.
for hopping in here, guys.
Well, thank you again.
We
Hopefully
love you.
We might have a hiatus because of finals, but hopefully we'll have a consistent schedule during the summer at the very least. So
Yeah,
I'll try and get
we'll
that
have to see
episode
what
up
happens,
for you guys.
but we're open to new ideas, and we're definitely
Yes.
gonna keep trying our best.
Yeah.
and sponsorships, definitely sponsorships. I'll sell out for
that'd be
basically
cool.
nothing.
All right, we're at episode 005. We'll see. We'll get this going all the way to 050 one day. All right, take it easy, guys.
Thank you.